Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our City of Port St. Lucie City Council meeting this Monday, February 9th, 2026 at 1:04 p.m. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilwoman Morgan?
Yes, ma'am.
Councilman Pickett?
Yes, ma'am.
Mayor Martin?
Here, ma'am.
Councilman Bana?
Yes, ma'am.
Vice Mayor Caraballo?
Here, ma'am.
Please stand for the invocation and the pledge.
Almighty God in heaven, we ask thy blessings upon those gathered here this afternoon and upon all the citizens of Port St. Lucie. Look with favor on our leaders and give them the insights, the wisdom, and the patience to deal with the problems and tasks coming before them. Please bless their work and their deliberations. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we have one proclamation, and it is for Engineers Week. Whereas engineers design, construct, and maintain the infrastructure and facilities that contribute to a high quality of life for all residents of the city of Port St. Lucie. And whereas the city of Port St. Lucie's growth depends on engineers executing innovative, creative, and high-quality solutions to technical problems. And whereas the purpose of the Florida Engineering Society is to advance the public welfare, promote the professional, social, and economic interests of the engineering profession, and stimulate and develop professional concepts to all engineers through education and excellence in practice. And whereas members of the Florida Engineering Society and the Florida Institute of Consulting Engineers are making strides to interact with the engineering education sector to prepare future engineers to maintain our economic leadership and quality of life, and whereas it is important that we recognize and honor the continuing contributions of America's engineers. Now, therefore, I, Shannon Martin, Mayor of the City of Port St. Lucie, Florida, do hereby proclaim the week of February 22nd to 2028 be observed as Engineers Week. And we love our Public Works Department and our engineers, so come on down, Captain Infrastructure.
That's what I'm calling every time he comes into the office for a meeting.
Okay. All right. Moving on to public to be heard. This is your opportunity to speak to the council for up to 3 minutes on any non-agenda related item. I have no one who signed up to speak. Would anyone like to come forward for public to be heard? Seeing no one, I'll close public to be heard. Moving on to additions and deletions to the agenda and approval of the agenda. Council?
Move approval.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Approval of consent. Was there a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye.
Well, under discussion, them two are a lot cleaner than Councilman Morgan and I.
Yes. Picking an iron.
That's okay. Again, all those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay. We're moving on to item 8, second reading of ordinances. 8A, ordinance 26-09.
An ordinance amending the comprehensive plan of the City of Port St. Lucie to include a small-scale amendment to the future land use map to change the future land use designation of approximately 28.6 acres of land from limited commercial, low-density residential, and open space recreational to commercial general institutional for property located at 3500 Southeast Morningside Boulevard, generally located north of the North Fork of the St. Lucie River, south of the Southeast Westmoreland Boulevard, between the western terminus of Southeast Pine Valley Street and eastern terminus of Southeast Morningside Boulevard.
Thank you. Council?
Motion to approve ordinance 26-09.
Do I have a second? Second. I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 8B, ordinance 26-13.
An ordinance of the City of Port St. Lucie, Florida, amending Title 15 Land Usage, Chapter 158 Zoning Code, Appendix B, City of Port St. Lucie Land Conversion Manual, providing for providing for severability, providing for codification, and providing an effective date.
Thank you. This item is a public hearing. Would anyone like to address the council? Seeing no one, I'll close the public hearing. Council?
Motion to approve ordinance 26-13.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. 8C, ordinance 26-14.
An ordinance of the City of Port St. Lucie, Florida, providing the First Amendment of the Planned Unit Development Document for Verano South Pod H PUD for property located south of the C-24 Canal, east of Range Line Road, west of I-95, and north of Crosstown Parkway, providing for conflicts, providing for severability, and providing an effective date.
Thank you. Council? Is there a motion?
Motion to approve?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. 8D, ordinance 26-15.
An ordinance of the City of Port St. Lucie adopting a master sign program for Town Place, providing for conflict, providing for severability, and providing an effective date.
Thank you. Is there a motion?
Motion to approve ordinance 26-15.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. 8E, ordinance 26-16.
An ordinance of the City of Port St. Lucie, Florida, providing for the Second Amendment of the Planned Unit Development Document and Conceptual Plan for the Sandpiper Bay Resort Planned Unit Development for property located at 3500 Southeast Morningside Boulevard, generally located north of the North Fork of the St. Lucie River, south of Southeast Westmoreland Boulevard, between the western terminus of Southeast Pine Valley Street and the eastern terminus of Southeast Morningside Boulevard, providing for conflicts, providing for severability, and providing an effective date.
Thank you. Is there a motion?
Motion to approve ordinance 26-16.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to item 10, first reading of ordinances. 10A, ordinance 26-17.
An ordinance of the City of Port St. Lucie, Florida, amending Title III, Administration, Chapter 32, Departments, Boards, and Commissions of the ordinances of the City of Port St. Lucie, Florida, by specifically adding Article 15, Naturally PSL Community Trust, providing for conflict, providing for severability, and providing an effective date.
Thank you. This item is a public hearing. Would anyone like to address the council? Seeing no one, we'll close the public hearing. Council?
Motion to approve ordinance 26-17.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to resolutions, item 11, 11A, Resolution 26-R08.
A resolution of the City of Port St. Lucie, Florida, approving First Amendment to Parks Impact Fee Funding Agreement with County for Torino Regional Park, providing for conflict, providing for severability, and providing an effective date.
Thank you. Council?
Motion to approve resolution 26-R08.
Second?
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
Yes, Madam Mayor.
Yes.
I just really want to just take a moment to pause, thank the county for extending this agreement, but more importantly, adding an additional $1 million to their commitment for Torino. And so I really just want to thank the county administrator and the commission for their continued partnership on our parks and our parks program. So thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you. Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. 11B, Resolution 26-R09.
Resolution of the City of Port St. Lucie, Florida, establishing a memorandum of understanding between the City of Port St. Lucie and the United Way to manage disaster donations, providing for conflict, providing for severability, and providing an effective date.
Thank you. Is there a motion?
Motion to approve resolution 26-R09.
Second?
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. 11C, Resolution 26-R10.
A resolution of the City Council of the City of Port St. Lucie, Florida, authorizing the city manager or his designee to enter into and execute a true-up agreement for road impact fee credits between the City of Port St. Lucie and DeVosta Homes LP relating to certain lots in Veranda Gardens, Phases 1 through 3, providing for conflicts, providing for severability, and providing an effective date.
Thank you. Council, is there a motion?
Motion to approve Resolution 26R-10.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. 11D, Resolution 26-R11.
A resolution of the City Council of the City of Port St. Lucie, Florida, authorizing the city manager or his designee to enter into and execute a road impact fee credit true-up and refund agreement for fees between the City of Port St. Lucie and DeVosta Homes LP relating to certain lots in Veranda Gardens, Phase 4, providing for conflicts, providing for severability, and providing an effective date.
Thank you. Is there a motion?
Motion to approve Resolution 26-R11.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. 11E, Resolution 26-R12.
A resolution of the City of Port St. Lucie, Florida, ratifying the 2018 School Resource Officer Program Memorandum of Understanding between the Port St. Lucie Police Department and the St. Lucie County Sheriff's Office, and authorizing the Chief of Police to execute the third addendum to the SRO MOU, providing for conflict, providing for severability, and providing an effective date.
Thank you. Is there a motion?
Motion to approve Resolution 26-R12.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
Yes, Mayor. So this is at 50% for the reimbursement. And I know this is late and I haven't had the opportunity, but in a discussion that I've had previously with the sheriff, he stated that he would be reimbursing us 100%. So I'm not happy with this, and I see he's smiling. So this really concerns me and upsets me that word was given and now it's half.
So this
Afternoon,
is an
Chief.
addendum to the already existing MOU. The reason we needed to addend it is because the addition of the Legacy High School that came online. The way the funding from the state works, it's actually, the billing cycle is mid-school year. So this is going to allow me to collect the money that they owe us for the prior year. We are in the process of negotiating a new MOU, which is basically today forward. And I have some optimism that that might change.
Okay, well, if you need backup, let me know.
Yes, ma'am.
I remember the conversation as clear as day.
Yes, I do too.
Yes. Thank you.
Any other questions?
No, Madam Mayor.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. 11F, Resolution 26-R13.
A resolution of the City of Port St. Lucie, Florida, authorizing the administrative settlement of non-covered claims against the city, providing for conflicts, providing for severability, providing an effective date.
Thank you. Is there a motion?
Motion to approve Resolution 26-R13.
Second.
A motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to new business, item 13, 13A, approve major site plan amendment for Sandpiper Resort. I don't know why that says Club Med still, but Sandpiper Resort.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. Daniel Robinson, Planning and Zoning. And the reason this site plan is on new business is it needed the ordinance 26-9 and 26-16 to be approved prior to this being approved. That's why it wasn't on consent. And I do have a short presentation if you'd like me to provide you one.
Does anyone need a presentation?
This is the first, this site plan.
Never mind.
I thought the only thing that changed, I mean, obviously, the only thing that changed was, I think, a slight change to the dumpster and the placement of where that was going to go from what I learned from the applicant.
For the Club Med
Yes.
Sandpiper Bay Resort? No, there's, the site plan is changing for a few things. I can give the presentation.
I think it's, yeah, if you'd like, I think it's the amount of floors, the height, and some of the orientation of the school is when I met with the team on that.
Yeah, there's fields, soccer fields, tennis courts, multiple courts, and then the Union Building, which is a 3-story building with a roof deck on the top.
Is there articulation pictures?
There's not at this time. They're
Okay.
still working.
No, I just said it would be good to do the presentation just for the public, so they'd see what a great school in the backyard of the city of Port St. Lucie that's going to do wonderful things through sports. It's already doing it. But, you know, I'm very excited to see some of the improvements. I actually got to tour it and see some of the improvements already, but I know that there's more coming down the line as well. And I think the addition of the cafeteria is critical. There's some critical components that a school was missing, and I'm very glad to see it incorporated in this plan.
We can go over it quickly.
Okay. All right. Project before you today is the major site plan amendment for Club Med Sandpiper Bay Resort. The request for approval for the major site plan amendment is to construct a 3-story school facility building with a roof deck, a 1-story recreational building, and add several courts and fields for their school and 2 amenity buildings and sheds on site. This will also add several structures existing and planned to the resort and school. The project is 219.87 acres PUD. That includes a resort, school, and a marina. The property has open space recreational, general commercial, institutional land use designations, and the comprehensive plan and PUD amendment were approved to provide the proper land use designation and PUD updates to support the proposed project. The property is located north of Norfolk of St. Lucie River, south of Southeast Westmoreland Boulevard, between the western terminus of Southeast Pine Valley Street and the eastern terminus of Southeast Morningside Boulevard. This is an updated layout of the land use designations, and the project has the PUD zoning designation. Traffic report was found to be in compliance with the adopted level of service, and the required parking per the approved PUD has been provided. The project will be required to have paving and drainage plans approved for the changes being proposed, and utilities are provided by the City of Port St. Lucie. The western end of the project, where most of the courts and fields were being proposed, and the soccer fields will be located to the east side of the project. So this is a highlight of most of the courts being proposed. The proposed 3-story building with the roof deck is proposed to be replaced an existing building section that will be demolished. So the north east corner of a building M will be torn down, and this 3-story building will be built. And the Site Plan Review Committee recommended approval of the proposed site plan at the January 14th, 2026 Site Plan Review Committee. And the Planning and Zoning Department staff recommends approval with the following conditions. There's 2 conditions. The following site plan comments shall be addressed and satisfied. And the comments are: the line work, layers, and labeling shall be cleared on the site plan. The parking ratio shall be updated to reflect what is approved in the PUD that was just approved. All improvements that have received building permits shall be shown on the site plan. All required details for lighting and accessory structures proposed for existing shall be shown on the site plan, and proposed buildings will be reviewed for compliance with the citywide design standards. And the second one is the condition of the overflow parking area included on the PUD concept plan will require a site plan amendment with construction plans and landscape plans when submitted.
Okay.
Any questions?
Any questions?
Nope.
Is there a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any final discussion? All those in, with conditions, is that? With
Yes,
conditions?
with
Okay.
conditions.
Thank you. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, city managers report.
Really quick, Madam Mayor. Just happy to report that the city secured $1.2 million of state federal funding for the Veterans Memorial Stormwater Quality Retrofit Project. This phase adds ponds of control structure along Southeast Veterans Memorial Park that will help capture the treated runoff before it reaches the North Fork of St. Lucie River. We thank the Florida Department of Environmental Protection Agency and also Congressman Brian Mast for their support and really bringing that home to us. So we truly appreciate that of all of our partners. That's all I have, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. Councilwoman Morgan.
I'm going to start off with my announcement here, but you know how I always say free, 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 free? This is not. Charles Ray Senior and Sportsman's Parks have been enhanced with major upgrades to the surfaces of their inclusive park grounds, playgrounds, not park grounds. Now, the new synthetic turf surfacing not only delivers a safer and more comfortable play experience for children of all abilities, but also significantly reduces long-term maintenance needs. This ensures sustainability and cost efficiency. Even though it's not free, it is cost efficient for years to come. So that's that one. My other one is on the 4th, I don't know why my laptop keeps turning off. Oh well. Anyway, February 4th, I attended the Transportation Planning Organization, and I'd like to wish my husband a happy birthday eve. So everybody, you know what that means. Have at it tomorrow.
He's 35. Right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Tell him we said happy 35th.
Yeah, I will. Thank
Go ahead,
you.
Councilwoman Pickett. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. On February 1st, I attended the Fourth Chaplain Ceremony. February 4th, the Treasure Coast Council of Local Governments. And then later on that afternoon, the TPO Board. February 7th, the Citizen Summit, which I have to pause for a second. I want to commend our staff on, they did an excellent job. The way they set the community center up and the flow through there was it worked so good. It was much better than last year. You could actually have a conversation with the staff and not have to hear all the other crowd noise from the other side of the room. And it was a wonderful event. Then Saturday night, attended the DDS for Vets Gala. And my announcement for this month, or this week, is Port St. Lucie received $1.7 million through the State Housing Initiatives Partnership. I had to say that slow.
That's a lot.
To help income-eligible homeowners with critical repairs. The Homeowner Repair and Rehabilitation Program opens its pre-application list February 18th at 9 a.m. for the first 100 applicants. Eligible residents may receive up to $50,000 through a 0% interest deferred payment loans. So if you have home repairs that you need to do, please apply. Thank you.
Thank you. Vice Mayor?
On January 26th to the 28th, I attended the Florida League of Cities Action Days in Tallahassee. We're continuing to fight the good fight, and I think this is the last 2 weeks of committee, and I think this might be the last week for Senate. I know that it's coming to a close as far as committee week, so some of the bills may not be heard, which is a good thing if they're bad bills. All eyes are on the Senate to see if they're going to pass a property tax bill of some kind. The schedule's supposed to come out today, so we'll know more today whether or not on Thursday they're going to be looking at it. There's also rumors that it might be next week, so we'll see. The other item was on the 4th, I attended the TPO board meeting, and then my announcement is, there it is. Keep Port St. Lucie Beautiful hosted its first pop-up cleanup this year on January 24th near Rotary Park in the Sand Hills Crossing neighborhood. This time, 42 volunteers collected 120 pounds of litter in less than 2 hours. This is Keep PSL Beautiful's 5th pop-up cleanup, which is an initiative that began last year to support Keep America Beautiful, Greatest American Cleanup, in honor of America's 250th birthday. And 2 comments I have with that is, number one is thank you so much to Sand Hill Crossing. As our city gets larger and larger, all of our volunteer cleanup groups are so important to help keep our city clean and beautiful. The second thing is, Mr. City Manager, I have had inquiries from the public about the 250th birthday of our country and what were specific city plans or initiatives we're moving forward. So I'm sure staff's already working on that, but at the winter workshop, if we could just have a quick update at some point in time of what that looks like, I'd really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Councilman Bana?
Thank you. The City of Port St. Lucie will host City Hall Field Trip Days on April 8th and April 15th, offering schools and homeschool groups a behind-the-scenes, hands-on look at local government. Students will rotate through interactive stations, meet city staff, and learn how departments serve the community. Registration closes 1 month before each date, and space is limited. Teachers and group leaders are encouraged to visit cityofpsl.com to register. During the past couple weeks, I've spoke at the Bedford Park HOA. I attended Anna Maria Correa's 100th birthday and presented her a certificate signed by the mayor. I attended the EDC's annual meeting. I attended a press conference with the governor where they talked about a lot of the food toxins that they're finding in common foods and breads and candies and things like that. And so the state has a new resource, exposingfoodtoxins.com, where you can kind of see some of their findings. May surprise you. Saturday was a busy day. Attended the Citizen Summit in the morning. And then the school district had their annual Night of the Stars, where they recognized everyone from the School Resource Deputy of the Year to Teacher of the Year. Good celebration. And then DDS for Vets, which was a great organization. I think Councilman Pickett and the mayor were there as well. And yesterday, I attended Butch Post's 80th birthday party. Councilwoman Morgan was one of the presenters, and she was one of our earliest residents and so active in the community, very active in our historical society. And Councilman Morgan started the kind of narration of everything she's contributed to the community, and it was just really nice to hear, especially some of her earlier life. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, so last week I had a few things, mornings with the mayor event, spoke at the Live Well Expo, at Encore at Tradition, also spoke at Valencia K. Let's see my notes. This Saturday, I'll get to the Citizen Summit last. I went to the Children's Fair that the Acton Academy and the PSL Business Club put on. This is the second year they had it in Tradition. It was absolutely amazing. They must have had 40 booths with child or kid entrepreneurs from age 5 to 18. And council, I really think this is something that we should get into sponsoring and let them have some conversations with staff of special events, because when I tell you, it was amazing to see all these kids. Some of them sold their art. Some of them had crafts, other types of businesses, food businesses. And I really think that it would be great to partner with them to promote all these great kids in the community who really want to be entrepreneurs. And they had awards that they gave out. So if there's a way we can figure out how to partner, that would be really wonderful. And yes, I also attended the DDS for Vets Gala TPO last week. Butch Post's birthday was amazing. She is a true pioneer woman in Port St. Lucie. And Stephanie, you were hilarious. So it was great. to hear some of the stories, all of the stories, actually. Some of them were very, very touching. So also, Citizen Summit, I agree with Councilwoman Pickett. It was so much better as far as flow. Did have a lot of comments about that. The citizens that I spoke to, I mean, you know, I tried to go around and it took me like almost 2 hours because I had people stopping me left and right about how much they love the summit. So many repeaters that came year after year, and they say it keeps getting better and better each year. It's nice to see our ambassadors out there talking to everybody. That was wonderful. But like I said, it took me a long time because everyone wanted to stop and talk about how much they like everything that's going on in the city, how much they enjoy interacting with staff. So that was really awesome. And also, we had 2 representatives from the city of Birmingham, Alabama. And this is the second city that has come to us. If you remember, last year we had Columbia, Missouri. And this year we had Birmingham, Alabama, who want to see what we're doing to replicate and bring it back home to their city and to replicate the Citizen Summit. So, you know, talking about being on the vanguard and traction about what we're doing and through Bloomberg and the partnerships is just amazing. And I'm sure we're going to continue to see more cities wanting to follow in our footsteps and put on these summits for their residents. But, you know, again, it's all about shaping our city's future. It's all about hearing and listening and making sure that we're following our strategic plan, which is built based on what our residents' wants and needs are. So it was really wonderful to see that. And I'm looking forward to next year, as always. So, and with that, if we don't have anything else, we are adjourned.